Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your main man, the real Pat Man here. I didn't think I was gonna be making a video this soon, but I'm on social media, man. You know, everybody knows me. You know, I'm a numbers guy, man. Straight to the heart. I always will be a numbers guy, man. I look at every single team, and I try to compare what they do and where the Falcons stand to what the Falcons need to do, and you know what they don't need to do, and whatever the case may be, right? So. In discussions with some folks on social media, one avenue that the Atlanta Falcons could take, if they want to quickly turn around their defensive line, I mean, not necessarily their defensive line, but their entire defense as a whole, would be to go about the Ravens' way, invest in the secondary, and basically run a defense that's catered off of coverage. Now, what I mean by that is, if you look at it from a number standpoint, compare us to everybody else in the league, we run nickel defense about 72 to 75% of the time. We're in base defense. You know, for you guys that don't understand the difference between the different types of defenses, a base defense it's either going to be an odd or even front that's either 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, or 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. That determines the front. When you're in a nickel look, you're on the field with 5 DBs and 2 linebackers. When you're in a dime look, you're on the field with 1 linebackers and 6 DBs, right? And that 6 DB is normally called a dime back. While you're in the nickel look, that 5th DB is generally gonna be your nickel back. And depending on how you align it, man, that 5th DB is generally your slot corner. Here's the thing, man. Today's NFL is a very, very pass-happy league, man. I mean, you're seeing a lot of tight ends that can go on stretch of defense. You got running backs that can stretch a defense. All of those things require someone on the other side of the field that's capable of guarding those things, right? For the Falcons under Dan Quinn, historically, it's been Deion Jones, it's been Devondre Campbell, and it's been Keanu Neal that have been tasked with that extra duty of guarding those tight ends and running backs, right? Because of course, you're gonna put your corners on your wide receivers. You're not generally gonna put. You don't want a linebacker, or if you can help it, a safety guarding a number 1 wide receiver. Generally, you want that individual to be getting guarded by a corner, right? So, for the Atlanta Falcons, it's something that the Baltimore Ravens do. The Baltimore Ravens have guys that can cover all over their secondary. And what that allows them to do is, that allows them to send pressure via blitzes from anyone on the field, out of any formation. And it's ironic that the Ravens played the least amount of true base defense in the league, right? But if you look at that roster, man, outside of Matt Judon, I mean, you really don't have nobody. Even Judon himself is not a household name guy, But when you look at that roster, you don't see anybody spectacular when it comes to getting to the quarterback. I mean, generally, you look at a roster, you have at least one guy that you know for a fact. Okay, he's my number 1 pass rusher. For the Falcons right now, that guy is Grady Jarrett. You look at the Ravens don't have that. The Ravens they get production from multiple people. And they get a lot of production through the use of blitzes, right? Sending 5 and 6 man pressures. Here's the thing, man. When you have coverage, when you have guys that can cover and do it well, you can do that. The Patriots also do that because they have a bad man by the name of Stephon Gilmore. Now, Gilmore, he struggled a little bit, when it mattered and whatnot. But, that's okay. But Gilmore was head and shoulders the best defensive player in the league in 2019. And why was that? Because he can cover, man. Because when you have a guy that can cover, quarterbacks don't like threatening that side of the field. I mean, Darrelle Reeves was the absolute king of this, man. He actually had an island, a phrase, Reeves Island, named after him because of his ability to shut down one side of the field without any safety help. Now, I'm not saying the Falcons need that to be successful, but they still need some young guys that can go out there and be decent in coverage. And what that does is it allows you to send pressure from all over the field. It also makes you an aggressive defense, because a lot of people don't realize this, but the Ravens weren't the best defense in the league when it came to stopping the run. I think they were like 19th in DVOA or something like that. But you know what? The Ravens were, I believe, the number 4, either number 3 or number 4, ranked pass coverage or pass defense in DVOA or pass DVOA. And those guys are really good at cover, man. And a lot of also pass defense is also rushing the quarterback, which they achieved as well by being aggressive, sending blitzes and things of that nature. I think in order for the Falcons, it's kind of looking at their current situation with the cap, and then the fact that, you know, regardless of what folks are going to tell you, if you're expecting a day one guy out of this draft that's not a Chase Young to come in and be that dude up front for you, it's not happening, man. And I know Dan Quinn's MO was to rush 3 or rush 4 guys, you know, and drop everybody else in the coverage, whatever. But if that's how you're going to run your defense, you're not getting that this year. It's just, this is not the draft for that. Those types of guys aren't in this draft, is what I'm saying. Now, they could be later on down the line, but Dan Quinn is playing for 2020. He's not playing for 2021. Then you look at free agency. You could go out there and you could sign a Fowler Jr., but in my opinion, I don't think Fowler Jr. is like on Khalil Mack's level. You know, I think Fowler Jr. is like a tier, maybe even a tier 2 below him, which isn't bad. But still, man, you're talking about paying a ton of money for, you know, for that type of player. And even still, I mean, you're not going to just rush forward and have Fowler Jr. and Tack as your ends and Grady inside. That's not a bad trio of players, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can just be able to consistently depend on that to get home for you if you're not going to send nobody else. So, in my opinion, if you're looking at it from a cost perspective, if you're looking at it from a schematic perspective, it makes sense to put more DBs on the field, play more dime looks, right? Because you got Keanu Neal, who has played linebacker, safety, he's played corner, he's rushed the pass a little bit. You got all these guys that can do a multitude of different things, but you're not using them in that capacity. So if I'm Dan Quinn and I'm Raheem Morris going into next year, I'm going to make the secondary my basis. I'm going to put emphasis on the secondary. Add some talent there, whether that be in the first round or the second round. A lot of people think you're corner in the first round, they kind of a little bit sketchy, but that's okay. I'm open to it because I feel like it's the path of least resistance. I mean, you can find day one guys. Every year you find day one corners that come in there and they start locking folks up, man. I mean, this is football, man. Every day, every year you can find those type of DBs. You're not necessarily finding day one pass rushers, every draft. So for me, man, I'm straight up gonna just I'm open to a corner in round 1, round 2 at the latest, and I'm playing the coverage game, man. But Dan Quinn has to change his philosophy and become aggressive. You can't just sit back and rush 3 or rush 4 and play coverage. Now, if you got a cover man to do it, you can. But I think you also might have to, you have to incorporate that with being aggressive and sending blitzes. You got to send blitzes to help create pressure for you. And I think if the Falcons can find a way to be that type of identity, where they're playing a ton of dime looks, they're matching up tight ends with corners, they're matching up running backs with corners, it's going to be very difficult to throw the football against this defense. And that's going to lead to a lot of sacks. It's going to lead to a lot of pressure. It will, especially if you're sending blitzes and things like that. They're not going to be perfect against the run, but if you're looking at it metrically, those teams that are elite at coverage, even if they struggle against the run, generally they're going to end up in the top 10 in terms of defensive DVOA regardless. So that's a top 10 defense right there. But that's just my opinion, man. That's how I see things. I just think that's a path of least resistance when you consider money, when you consider the edge class this year. You're not getting somebody from day one that's going to come in there and be that guy. Unless you're going to trade everything up for like a Chase Young or something like that. And I think Chase Young is going to need some time as well. But day one, you can get a corner that can come in there and lock fools up. I mean, he's going to be practicing against Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley all summer anyway, so he's going to get really good at doing it. I mean, we saw this with Desmond Trufant, man. You can get those types of guys in there and play coverage, man, and be aggressive. Send blitzes everywhere. You know, we're seeing more and more that is more of a sustainable defense, in my opinion, than just rushing four. Because, I mean, we just saw the 49ers, man. That's their MO. We're going to rush four every snap. And, I mean, when it mattered, it didn't matter. So just let me know what you guys think, man. I'm going to drop this video on YouTube as well, because why not? Let me know what you think in the comment section. But this is the real Pat, man. This is my take on what I would do, you know, if I was Dan Quinn and I needed a quick turnaround on defense. I'm gonna put the emphasis on my secondary, man. I'm gonna make my secondary a strength. Now, I know Lieutenant Dan may be watching this. That's my guy, man. It's one of my closest friends. I talk to this man every day. Doesn't mean you're giving up on Oliver. You can move Oliver to another role. You can let Oliver handle those bigger receivers. You can let Oliver match up on some tight ends, let him play some safety. Let Oliver rush the pass or something from time to time. People don't understand. When you blitz, you also put a body in the backfield. So guess what that means? If he's making tackles, you're getting tackles for losses. That's helping your run defense. It doesn't mean you're giving up on a dude. You can just move guys around, let them play multiple different roles, man. But that's all I got for you guys, man. Again, man, hit me up in the comment section. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real Pat, man. You know what I'm saying? And I may make more videos. I don't know yet. I like this whole making video things, man, because it's pretty cool. You can actually hear my voice. And I see a bunch of numbers, man, think, oh, this guy's weird, you know. But that's all I got, man. Y'all be easy, man.